remembering 2 children lost to violence and seeking ways to intervene sooner.
How can we all normalize asking for help? It's okay. We're human. It's part of the human condition.
Domestic violence organizations call for better resources and better responses. Plus, feeling good after a meeting in Ottawa.
I am now much more confident that this will be completed.
The Premier and the Prime Minister pushing to get that pipeline MOU across the finish line. And it's more than just gaming.
And you see the kids out in front and the room is packed and everyone's buzzing and it's just such an awesome feeling.
Hundreds of competitors gather for Alberta's Esports Championship.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Tara Nelson.
Hello and thank you for joining us. 2 Calgary children are being remembered tonight as community members gather for a candlelight vigil in the city's northwest. The memorial comes as advocates renew their calls for earlier intervention in domestic violence cases before they turn tragic. Mark Villani joins us from that vigil tonight near the North Haven police station. And Mark, people just beginning to arrive there both in grief and in support.
Yeah, that's right, Tara. This is an incredibly somber and emotional vigil here tonight. There's about 200 people here so far, many of them showing up with flowers, handwritten cards, some people with stuffed teddy bears for the children, and of course, candles to remember them by. This is a very devastating loss. Many people here inconsolable as they pay their respects. A 5-year-old boy and his 3-year-old sister were found dead here last Thursday after police alleged the father was responsible for the killings. A publication ban does remain in effect to protect the identities of the 2 children. That's why we're keeping our distance a little bit from this evening's vigil. We cannot name the man charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, but we are hearing some little anecdotes about these children tonight, specifically the little girl who was described as a talented dancer and someone who was always very playful. Many people say that they're here to grieve, but also to stand with the family and to show support for a community shaken by tragedy.
Everyone can come together and grieve together, and even I believe those kids in heaven, they will watch us and they feel loved. Even mom, to see all this support, it meant a lot to her.
Advocates do say that tonight is about remembrance, but it's also about reflecting on early intervention and the signs of domestic violence, being able to recognize them. Many details coming up in the story here, and a warning that some of those details may be disturbing to some viewers. Crime scene tape sways in the wind as officers remove the bodies of a 5-year-old boy and his 3-year-old sister from a parked car. Police say a Calgary father dialed 911 last Thursday, allegedly telling police he killed his 2 children. Officers visited the family's home on 4 separate occasions before this, but charges were never laid.
To me, those are signals and a window of opportunity in which we could have diverted that behavior.
The mother of the 2 children called for help when the father didn't return after a scheduled outing. Officers told her she should go to court instead. That's where she was the next day and found out her children were murdered. In most cases, police provide a safety plan to domestic violence victims, but advocates say that's not the only solution.
And actually, I think we have to flip the burden to those who are causing harm and work with him and get him. Does he have friends? How can he regulate? Where can he get support?
We're looking at interventions with children and youth, community interventions to help people understand what is violence and abuse and how do you intervene safely.
Recent studies from the University of Calgary show nearly 3/4 of Calgary men charged with a domestic violence offense had a prior history with police. CPS says it's working to assess risk, de-escalate tensions, and connect families to resources.
Gathering their input and providing them support will encourage both victims and offenders to break that cycle of domestic violence.
One of those essential supports is the Men and program, an online initiative offering counseling and meaningful connection to men at risk of committing harm. Reducing that stigma hopes to reduce the need for police involvement.
Criminal law enforcement is going to be the last stage of a much more proactive intervention.
A bill before Parliament to criminalize coercive control is soon expected to pass in an effort to get ahead of the violence. But early intervention in the first place is still the gold standard.
Many victims actually don't want their partner or their ex-partner to go through the criminal justice system for all sorts of reasons.
We need to create a community where it's okay to ask for help.
Now, the message is clear from experts that domestic violence often doesn't begin with just one single incident. It follows a set of broader patterns that includes exposure to harm in childhood, learned behavior at home, unresolved trauma, as well as difficulty regulating emotions. That's why advocates say that this falls on all of us as community members to recognize these signs and to not be afraid to ask for help. And Tara, for a full list of those resources in domestic violence prevention, you can visit our website, ctvnewscalgary.ca.
Mark, thank you. Calgary's latest homicide victim is being remembered as an uplifting and caring sister. Alicia Fieldberg joins us from Woodlands tonight. And Alicia, you spoke with the family of the 16-year-old girl.
Tara, Angeline Boucher's sister says that she was a heartwarming young woman, and she's happy to see so many people leaving tributes here, but she's angry that her little sister was killed. She also says that Angeline, who also went by the name Amber, was funny, caring, and an amazing person. Flowers, candles, and a place where people can leave messages is set up in memory of the 16-year-old near the place along Woodview Drive where police found her Wednesday morning. So Tasha Boucher says that her sister attended William Roper Hull School. A Calgary Board of Education shared a letter it passed on to her classmates saying, "It is with heavy heart that I share with you the news of passing of grade 10 student Angeline Boucher." CBE let families know that they can access student services at school or community supports following the 16-year-old's death. Police found Boucher's body along Woodview Drive Wednesday around 5:30 a.m. as they were responding to reports of a stabbing. Some neighbors heard shouting, and one thought she saw 4 people out here around 5 a.m. Angeline's sister says that she knows that it was over something stupid and young kids don't know what they're doing, and unfortunately it took her sister's life. Now she's focusing on memories while her family and church are making plans.
She would always make me laugh even though I was really upset sometimes. And whenever I felt alone, I always had my little sister. She was loved by so many people. Always keep people close to you because you never know when their last breath might be.
Now, police have been interviewing some people but have not yet laid any charges. Anyone with information on this case is asked to call police or Crime Stoppers. Tara?
Thank you, Alicia. A witness to a serious stabbing in a southeast Calgary neighborhood is describing a terrifying scene. Police responded to Auburn Bay last night after a teenage boy was attacked in an alley. Officers later took 2 suspects, both under the age of 18, into custody. The victim was initially in serious condition but is now stable. A nearby resident noticed 5 or 6 other boys wearing ski masks and hoodies beating the victim with bear spray, bricks, and shoes. She called 911 while yelling at the group to break it up.
"Hey, what are you guys doing? Stop, get off him." And then they noticed me, and then they came running towards me. So at that point, I told my kids, I said, "Get inside the house, lock the door, do not open." Once they got out of the alley, I directly ran down the alley to check on the victim while still on the phone with police. Victim vanished. I couldn't find him. Had I not screamed at them immediately, I don't know how much longer they would have gone or what they would have done. My kids witnessed it, unfortunately. They saw it. My 2 daughters, they're twins, they're 6 years old, did not sleep last night, screaming and crying multiple times throughout the night that the men with masks are going to come back and stab them.
Other neighbors who witnessed the incident also spoke to police, and that investigation continues. Fire broke out in a house that was being renovated in the northwest this morning. No one was home when it started. There was thick smoke pouring from the structure when firefighters arrived. The house is in Capitol Hill, and 14th Street was closed near 22nd Avenue while crews worked to put it out. Alberta Premier Daniel Smith was in Ottawa today, putting more pressure on the Prime Minister to get moving on the Memorandum of Understanding that they signed last year. She had a private meeting with Mark Carney in the morning. By afternoon, Smith seemed optimistic that a pipeline to the coast is just a matter of time. Tim Brooke explains what happens next.
Well, Premier, welcome. Welcome back. Thank you for making the time.
The pleasantries between the Prime Minister and Alberta's Premier didn't last long Friday.
I hope that we can get to the finish line on signing that MOU. I know industry is getting a bit impatient. Albertans are getting a little bit impatient. In Alberta, there does need to be a demonstration that Canada can work.
Danielle Smith says finalizing the pair's deal signed last November to get a new pipeline built is her top priority, and can even help national unity.
We're working to make Canada work better for Albertans and for all Canadians, and when Canada works well, it's good for the world.
A tense public meeting, but behind closed doors, the temperature was lowered. And by the afternoon, Smith's pipeline if had turned to when.
Prime Minister Mark Carney and I made significant progress towards reaching an agreement on a West Coast pipeline.
An industrial carbon pricing agreement and a carbon capture project were both discussed. Smith wouldn't provide specifics, but said both sides will talk again soon.
I hope to have something more firm to announce very, very soon.
That's still not entirely welcome news on the West Coast.
I understand that the pipeline project is of critical importance to Premier Smith. But there is still no route. There is still no proponent. Here in British Columbia, it is a very different situation.
This pipeline push and pull does come at an interesting time. In an earnings call Friday, energy company Southbow spoke of a strong demand for capacity, but did not commit to being the pipeline proponents.
Recent global events have reinforced that secure, reliable energy and the infrastructure that delivers it truly matter.
Well, I think the pipeline is one piece, and that's probably at least a decade away. But the bigger picture is, will the framework that gets put in place under the MOU allow for production to grow?
The Premier says she wants to have the MOU finalized by next month, and that her government is currently mapping out 5 potential pipeline routes.
And Tim joins us now. So, Tim, Ottawa also made a major announcement today on major projects.
Yes, Mark Carney says his government will soon table legislation, Tara, to expedite the approvals process for all big energy and infrastructure projects. It promises it'll be engaging soon with provinces, territories and First Nations, but some are already accusing the feds of bulldozing through projects without proper insight. Tara, environmental groups especially worried here, saying the proposed law could damage ecosystems and put certain species at risk.
Okay, Tim, thank you. A gas price war in Edmonton has some customers getting into skirmishes in the parking lot.
I'm just waiting for one day for nice shooting. Like they're gonna start shoot each other. Today was very close, very close. 3 police crews came. They spent 3 hours here. For what?
Jack Tan owns the shop next to this gas station. He says he's called police and the city about the lineups because they can wrap around the strip mall, blocking the street as well as his loading bay. By the way, gas was selling there today for $1.63.9 a litre.
You're watching CTV News Calgary.
All right, Danielle joins us now. We're heading toward our weekend. How are things shaping up?
Really nice weekend ahead. We will run into a couple showers here and there, so I'll give you the forecast in just a second. But first, just looking at radar and satellite at the moment, you can see that development off to the west of the city. So less likely to see it in Calgary for the evening hours, more likely to see it overnight and through tomorrow morning up until about 11 a.m. All right, 19 degrees is the temperature at the airport. We got to a high of 21 today. It was a really nice day. Gusts maxed close to 40 kilometers per hour. So a little breezy at times. All right, for tomorrow, yes, showers possible until about 11 a.m. 11 degrees to kick off the day at 8 a.m., getting up to a high of 19. By tomorrow night, we get into more showers. We'll talk about that coming up, Tara.
Thank you, Danielle. Hundreds of people accessed an illegal database of voter information. Do you know now how to protect yourself going forward in case you are targeted by scammers? And have you ever tried a fad diet or a fitness trend? They're all the rage online, but experts say beware of what you believe. We'll explain. Privacy protection experts are urging Albertans to take precautions now after it was revealed nearly 600 people accessed a database of Albertans' information. They say time is of the essence since it takes time for scammers to build a file on the people they plan to target. Nicole Weisberg has more.
we have to have a lens of zero trust.
This cybersecurity expert says if you haven't already, it is time to put your guard up. With an electoral list containing full names, addresses, postal codes, phone numbers, and more posted online and searchable for weeks, he says Albertans should expect to be targeted.
So it could be a text saying, hey, protect yourself. Your data's been out. Click here to see if you're on the list. Right? Phishing is getting more and more sophisticated.
Mike Schoenberger says one of the top things you should do is use a password manager, a secure digital vault that generates and stores complex passwords for various online accounts. He also says use two-factor authentication whenever possible and, in general, be wary of posting online.
When people are looking to steal an identity, they use social engineering. Facebook, Instagram.
If you send a friend a happy birthday wish today saying, happy birthday, it's great to hear you're 40 years old today. Well, it doesn't take much of a mathematician to figure out what that person's date of birth is.
Former major crimes investigator Neil LeMay says scammers will create dossiers on people using different sources. So even if you think this particular data breach isn't that big of a concern, combined with other information, it can open up access to a lot.
Primary building blocks for identity theft are name and address. There's lots of reports in the media about people who have had their bank accounts emptied, had credit cards taken out in their name, have had their houses mortgaged without their knowledge.
In the age of artificial intelligence, he says scammers can even scrape your voice from your voicemail and use that to get into your accounts. All things he says we should think about in the wake of this breach. Nicole Weisberg, CTV News, Edmonton.
The University of Alberta is warning students to stay off a widely used digital classroom due to a cyber attack. The attack targeted Canvas, which is used by many universities to store course materials, manage grades, and submit assignments. It's unclear exactly what data has been accessed. The U of A says Canvas does not store information like passwords, dates of birth, and financial information. The cyber attack hit thousands of schools around the world. The province is reminding people to fill out their census form so Albertans can get their fair share of federal funding. The information you're asked to share depends on whether you receive the short or the long version of the census. The province says either way, it is important to be counted because federal funding is based on a per-person formula. That means more resources will be allocated to places with more people. Statistics Canada says if you refuse to fill out your census, you could be fined. The province could end up paying an even bigger price.
The placement of hospitals, schools, police stations, transit routes, all of this core service of government depends upon high quality census data. The lower the response, the lower the quality, that degrades the decision making for your community.
Statistics Canada says it understands people may be hesitant to share their information because of recent data breaches, but it is governed by law to keep your information confidential, and it uses multiple steps to ensure data is encrypted. Your census is due by Tuesday, May 12th.
This is CTV News, Calgary.
We had a little black hole there in one of our stories. We apologize for that. The weekend will not be a black hole. See what I did there? Sunshine, nice weather.
Nice work, Tara. Yeah. Good. Yeah, no black holes this weekend. Just a little bit of rain here and there, but overall a really nice weekend ahead. And hey, we need some moisture. We need way more than what we're getting. Okay, let's talk first about the numbers here. 19 right now in the city. We did get to a high of 21 for today. It's now 21 in the Brooks area and 22 in Medicine Hat, 23 in Lethbridge. These are all temperatures above normal for this time of year. It certainly was a little breezy. We talked about 40 to 50 kilometer per hour gusts. 41 was the max so far in Calgary today. Basically, the further east you went today, the gustier got 50 kilometers per hour is the max in Medicine Hat. It should be calmer in all communities for tomorrow. All right, radar and satellite. So we have this development off to the west of the city, closer to the Banff, Jasper, Rocky Mountain House area. And this will track into Calgary. Most of it will likely evaporate before it even gets to the ground. But we will see some isolated showers overnight tonight, and we'll see some in parts of the city tomorrow as well. It's all part of a much bigger system that's tracking in from the southwest, but the mountains are really going to hold off a lot of that moisture and keep the moisture mainly on the BC side, which is unfortunate because we do need it, especially in the southeast corner where it's really, really dry. Okay, so let's give you the futurecast here. And as we head through the evening or late, we are looking at the potential for showers in Calgary. We'll see it along the mountains as well. And Lethbridge might pick up a little bit in these late night hours and through the overnight hours. For Calgary specifically, though, we'll get little isolated showers right up until about 11 or even the noon hour tomorrow, and then things clear out for the afternoon. By Sunday, we're looking at a pretty quiet day on Sunday, and then it's Sunday night in through Monday morning that we'll likely get a couple millimeters of rain, so much needed rainfall in the city. It will be really heavy in some spots, in fact, as well. This is overnight. We will likely still see some for the morning commute on Monday morning as well, and starting to make its way out by the late morning hours on Monday. So a little bit of ups and downs here, but overall really nice weather in the longer range forecast. This is your Action Furnace 5-day forecast. 19 is our high for tomorrow. Again, showers likely up until about 11 or the noon hour, and then that will make its way out. Sunday is quiet with a high of 23, and Sunday night through Monday morning, 1 to 2 millimeters of rain is possible. Tara?
Thank you, Danielle. Gym goers often look to personal trainers for advice or help to reach their fitness and weight goals. But experts say social media's influence over the space is leading to a lot of misinformation. Moses Woldu has more.
Kylie Vrooman was a personal trainer for 7 years and now manages the Good Life on 130th Avenue. She's seen how social media has taken the leap from Ozempic to other so-called natural remedies to questionable training exercises.
It might be easy to say, I want to grow my glutes really big, so we're going to do this band booty workout that I saw on TikTok. You have no way of knowing if that's even the program that person used.
It's an increasing concern for trainers who've spent years helping people the traditional way, through diet and exercise, as influencers online offer a quick fix.
We are consistently competing with people who may or may not be certified. They may or may not have watched real human bodies moving in person.
And we know that influencers, social media platforms are having an impact on people's health decisions.
University of Alberta health law expert Timothy Caulfield says social media influencers are producing content that is doing more harm than good.
A study from Australia found that 60% of the videos about fitness, misleading, problematic.
Caulfield adds another thing people should watch out for is what he's calling sciencey trends.
I call it science-ploitation. So they'll talk about stem cells and the microbiome and precision medicine in order to sell products, even though there's no good evidence to support their claims.
Traditional exercise and eating well is the tried and true method. It's what gym user Angela Fernandez lives by.
I have 4 kids and I lost 70 pounds and I did it all on my own. It's very important, especially if you have like a family that you're trying to be a role model for.
A message echoed by Vrooman, who makes the distinction between inspiration on these sites and instant results.
If you're starting with things like peptides, GLP-1s, or even just supplements in general, I really believe you're stepping over $100 bills while you're chasing pennies.
Moses Woldu, CTV News, Calgary.
According to U of A researchers, health misinformation has also spread through AI. They say half of the responses that people are getting are problematic. At least 10 Canadians are connected to a Hantavirus outbreak on a cruise ship. 6 of the cases have been confirmed as Andes virus. That is not the strain usually found in Alberta. And later, we'll take you to a packed house for the Alberta Esports Championships at Bow Valley College this weekend. A hotel in Diamond Valley has closed its doors following an order from Alberta Health Services. AHS said the Woodstock Hotel didn't have power, heat, or running water. Several rooms didn't have functioning smoke alarms or sprinkler system. Mouse droppings were also found throughout the building. On May 1st, those staying at the hotel were ordered out. The owners have a list of conditions that have to be met before they can reopen. Canada's chief public health officer says she is working on a process to bring 4 Canadians on board a hantavirus-infected cruise ship home safely.
We have arranged for a public health officer from FAC to travel to the Canary Islands to support the Canadian passengers. This FAC officer will monitor the process when the Canadians disembark and to ensure that all public health protocols are followed.
Officials say once they arrive in Canada, the passengers will be screened by public health. Another 6 Canadians may have been exposed on 2 separate flights. They're being told to self-isolate, though none of them are symptomatic. Officials stress there's no evidence of asymptomatic spread and that further spread within Canada is not expected. While the Andes Hantavirus has not yet made it to Alberta, the province does have a different strain of the virus. CTV's Curtis Goodrum explains how to protect yourself.
Public health here in Edmonton and Alberta are working with our federal counterparts to help manage that situation overall. The risk to Albertans is low.
There are still 4 Canadians on the Hantavirus-stricken MV Hondias cruise ship heading for the Canary Islands. Canadian health authorities say once they get back to Canada, the passengers will be screened by public health.
I really don't believe there's any real risk to the public with the Hantavirus.
University of Alberta head virologist Dr. Lauren Tyrrell believes the Andes Hantavirus could only be dangerous when in prolonged contact, such as a cruise.
It's not an easily transmissible virus. Some viruses have very easy transmission. This is not one that does.
Dr. Tyrrell says that Alberta has a local Hantavirus strain. It can be caught when improperly dealing with mouse droppings.
The strains we've seen in North America, we don't think there's any evidence that has been transmitted person to person.
The most common way you're going to get hantavirus is by cleaning up feces and urine of mice.
Shannon Gadwa, general manager of Birch Fumigators, says not wearing proper protective gear when dealing with mouse droppings can lead to hantavirus.
Don't sweep it up, you want to wipe it up. Make sure you have a good mask, like an N95 or better, good gloves. You don't want to be vacuuming unless you have all the proper equipment.
There is currently no vaccine for any hantavirus strain due to transmission being rare. There are some signs to look out for.
There might be an incubation period from between 1 and 8 weeks, with an average of about 2 to 3 weeks. The symptoms that people might have are typical flu-like symptoms.
There are currently no Canadians symptomatic with the Andes Hantavirus. Curtis Goodrum, CTV News, Edmonton.
It is a major blow to Canada's World Cup hopes. Alphonso Davies is sidelined with an injury. We'll take a look at how long he's expected to be out. It's game on for the Alberta Esports Championships kicking off at Bow Valley College. The 2-day event will see hundreds of Alberta students game out for a prize at the school's Esports arena. Tyson Fedor takes us inside the action.
The esports gaming world has emerged as a popular space for those looking to compete on a global stage. The Alberta Esports Championships are back at Bow Valley College for a second straight year. More than 400 student gamers from across the province are competing, double what was seen last year.
So last year was a new experience for us, having hundreds of students here to play esports, and it's something we've been excited to support, and we've been growing and working our way to be able to scale to a larger audience. And so this weekend already is a testament to that.
Students are zoned in on the popular titles of Rocket League, Valorant, and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. This group of grade 11 students from Fort McMurray hope to take the top spot back to Northern Alberta.
I've been in esports for 3 years, so when we started in grade 9, it first started in Lethbridge, so it was a huge event, but there wasn't as much people wanting to come to the event, there wasn't much involvement in the community, but I think over time, it's expanded.
I didn't play last year. It's my first year here at Calgary. Pretty excited for the tournament. We'll see how things go.
For this digitally inclined generation, the growing popularity of esports gives gamers a reason to push for careers in video games. From streaming to broadcasting, esports has it all. This tournament is streamed live with esportcasters calling the play-by-play action.
It's been a labor of love, for sure. And so we're really happy just to see it all come together. It's a ton of stress and work leading up, and then you get here and you see the kids out in front, and the room is packed, and everyone's buzzing, and it's just such an awesome feeling.
Even Calgary's mayor calls himself an avid gamer and credits it for many life lessons he has learned while in the city's top job.
Gaming taught me strategy. They taught me teamwork. They taught me resilience after getting spawn cats, after getting third party, after getting blue shells.
Tyson Fedor, CTV News, Calgary.
That is going to be a big, busy event. Wow. Okay, well, did you know that Jimmy Kimmel is more than just a comedian and just a talk show host? He is also a musician. That's Jimmy Kimmel on bass clarinet. He's playing the White Stripes' Seven Nation Army with Conan O'Brien and Jon Stewart on drums.
Wow.
Really? Yeah, and then Love on the Spectrum star Abby Romeo was singing vocals. This is from the Netflix Is a Joke Fest that runs through the weekend. I didn't know he was a musician. He took up bass clarinet when he was a kid.
And look, they're having fun.
Yeah.
There they are.
Little cover band. HBO is out with a trailer for its upcoming history sketch comedy series, executive produced in part by Barack and Michelle Obama and Larry David.
I have sat across the table from some of the world's most difficult leaders and wrestled with some of the globe's most intractable problems. Nothing has prepared me for working with Larry David.
44.
Yeah.
Can I put you down as my emergency contact?
Oh my gosh.
No. He tells him no. Obama appears in the trailer joking about his collaboration with Larry David on the show. It is described as both celebrating and poking fun at moments in American history, 250 years after the country's founding. It is called Life, Larry, and the Pursuit of Unhappiness. It debuts June 26th.
And you know it's going to be fun.
Absolutely.
It's going to be so funny,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
Well, no doubt many of you will be doing laundry this weekend, but it doesn't have to be a chore. This party has everything: clean clothes, a dance floor, even a strobe light.
I like that.
Yeah, that tub thumping took him back to his clubbing days almost immediately.
Yeah, there you go.
Make that laundry go fast, wouldn't it?
It certainly would.
Yeah.
Have a little fun with it.
Love it.
Well, more Canadians are looking for work, and once again, it's young people who are struggling the most. We have details coming up in our business report.
Okay, Skywatch weather camera. Yeah, the clouds a little more dense now and a little darker now. We have the potential for showers, especially overnight and tomorrow morning in the city. It's 19 at the airport right now. Our high was 21 today. A normal is 15, 16 degrees. So certainly above normal. Here's a look at everywhere right now. 21 in Brooks, 22 in Medicine Hat, 23 in Lethbridge, and 17 in Banff right now. It was a bit of a breezy day for sure, with gusts around that in the low 40s. Calgary, Lethbridge, Drumheller, Pincher Creek, but closer to that 50 mark for Brooks and Medicine Hat. So the further east you went today, the windier it got, although not excessive for today. So pretty decent. The winds will be calmer for tomorrow in all communities. So here's the system tracking in from the southwest, sparking up thunderstorms in BC. The mountains are going to eat up a lot of that moisture, so we won't get a lot of that over here, but little blips here and there. Timeline wise, again tonight through tomorrow morning. So up until about 11 a.m., even noon, we have the potential for isolated showers in the city. And then in the afternoon, things clear out and you're looking at 19 degrees as a high for tomorrow. That's your 24-hour forecast, brought to you by Action Furnace. Fix right or it's free. All right, taking a little dance around here. Kamloops 27 and mainly sunny. For tomorrow, Kelowna 26, Edmonton a decent amount of cloud cover and 20 degrees. Now Rocky Mountain House through Jasper and Banff in the afternoon hours, good chance of rain. Olds through Calgary in the morning hours, a good chance of rain for tomorrow. Looking at a high of 20 for Lethbridge and 19 for Medicine Hat.
A candlelight vigil is underway in northwest Calgary for two murdered children. A 5-year-old boy and his 3-year-old sister were found dead last Thursday. Their father is charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. The Calgary Board of Education says a 16-year-old stabbed to death 2 days ago was a grade 10 student at one of its schools. Angeline Boucher died following an early morning fight in Woodlands. And after a meeting with the Prime Minister, Premier Daniel Smith says she is more confident than ever that an energy memorandum of understanding will soon be finalized. The agreement centers around a new West Coast bitumen pipeline. The The province's latest map shows an extreme fire risk throughout many sections of central and southern Alberta. The latest fire danger rating puts most of east central and southeastern Alberta in the extreme category. That includes Calgary, Red Deer and Lethbridge. In those conditions, fires can be fast spreading and difficult to control. Rocky View County has issued a fire ban. So far this year, we've seen 158 wildfires across the province. 9 are currently burning, but all are under control. Some members of City Council spent the day learning what it takes to be a Calgary firefighter. This is Fire Ops 101 at the Fire Training Academy. It was a chance for City councillors to experience the range of emergency calls that firefighters respond to every day. In full protective gear, they used the jaws of life at a car crash, they assisted in a medical emergency, and they battled a burning building.
We can go and talk to councillors about what our days look like, but having them here experience it with us is really helps the conversation, right? So when we do talk to them about fire-related issues, budget, staffing, we're a city of almost 2 million people. We have 1,700 firefighters, so having them here today experience what we do, even in a small piece of it, is super, super valuable.
Calgary firefighters respond to an average of 90,000 calls a year. The unemployment rate moved up in April to 6.9%, and Canada lost close to 18,000 jobs. BNN Bloomberg's Marla Fernandez has more.
Close to 48,000 full-time jobs were lost last month, offset by about 29,000 part-time jobs gained. There were also more people looking for work in April than there were in March. That's one reason the unemployment rate moved up to 6.9%. But the rate for younger Canadians, 15 to 24, is twice that, above 14%. Employment fell in Quebec but rose in Ontario. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down to 73.08. West Texas Intermediate up 61 cents to 95.42. Western Canadian Select is barely changed at 74.45, and the TSX gained 221 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marla Fernandez.
Superheroes took over South Centre Mall today. This was the Heroes Challenge from Make-A-Wish Canada. It's an opportunity for fundraising teams to join forces with Make-A-Wish Kids and raise money for the organization. The end goal, of course, raising money to enable kids with critical illnesses to have their wishes come true.
I think something that we often forget in medical journeys, that it's not just the kid, it's the family, it's the siblings, it's the parents, it's the grandparents. It takes an entire community to walk through these complexities with critical illness. And so days like this are just a reminder that there can be joy, there can be happiness, and they can have the best day ever and create memories that hopefully replace the bad ones.
Right now, there are more than 190 children in southern Alberta waiting for their wish to be fulfilled. He grew up cheering for the Stampeders. Now he has been drafted by his home team, and he's trying to crack the lineup. Glenn has his story for us next.
Davies into Kane. Well, he scored.
We do have bad news for Canada ahead of the World Cup as team captain Alphonso Davies has been injured. Davies and Bayern Munich would go on to lose this Champions League semi-final against Paris Saint-Germain, with the Canadian star injuring his hamstring. He's now expected to be out for 4 to 5 weeks, which puts his World Cup availability in jeopardy. Canada's first World Cup game is June 12th. This is Davies' third injury since December, when he returned from a lengthy layoff following knee surgery. Rookie camp opened up at McMahon Stadium today. Glenn is back with us. And Glenn, there's a local player who is totally living out his dreams.
Tara, Matt Sibley is a huge fan of the Stampeders. He bleeds red. The family had season tickets, and now he's part of the red and white. Matt Sibley was born and raised in Calgary. He played his high school football at Ernest Manning, then went to the U of C to play for the Dinos. And the Calgary football tradition continues for the 22-year-old. The Stamps drafted him in the 5th round, 44th overall.
We're staying home, baby. It's been a whirlwind, especially the past week, and getting that phone call was something I've dreamt of for 20 years. So I was thrilled to hear that call, especially to hear from the Stampeders, and it's awesome to be here. I think the first game I went to, I was only like a month old or something, so We had season tickets, huge Stamps bus, and it was a big family tradition of mine. So I've been coming to Stamps games since I was a little kid. I've got all the jerseys. And
Sibley says it was special putting on the red and white when rookie camp opened up on Wednesday.
It was really real once I saw the helmet. I think walking in and seeing the white horse that I've dreamt of for so long then it's like, okay, here we go. And actually putting it on, seeing myself, seeing my face in that helmet was pretty special. So that's when it really kicked in.
Stamps head coach and general manager Dave Dickinson was familiar with Sibley from his days at Manning. He says he's come a long ways.
The local connection is just a bonus for us. I mean, we're going to draft the best player, but for him to be from Calgary and obviously I think he bleeds red. A lot of guys do, but he bleeds red. You could tell. It's a cool story, but he's out here to earn his spot and compete, and I trust that he knows what to do as well as he's a good athlete.
Sibley's eligible to return to the Dinos, and that's his likely destination. But he says he wants to put a stamp on making the team and what it means to be a Stampeder.
I want to represent and have that last name on the back and have the youth look up to somebody that they can see that, they can be a hometown kid, a Canadian kid, and they can get the job done.
Now here's another cool part of the story. Matt's sister made the Outriders cheerleading team, so it continues to be all of the family for the Sibleys. It's still with the Stamps. The Junior Stamps Camp, it'll be held tomorrow from 10 to 3 at McMahon Stadium, and then main camp gets underway on Sunday. The World Hockey Championship gets underway on Friday, and Team Canada announced its roster today, and it includes Flames defenseman Zach Whitecloud. He's heading overseas to wear the Maple Leaf. Whitecloud was acquired by the Flames in the Rasmus Anderson deal. He made an immediate impact, became a leader on the team. In all, 23 players will travel to Switzerland for the tournament. Canmore Eagles back in action today at the Centennial Cup in Prince Edward Island. It was a great start for the Eagles as they knocked off the #1 ranked Rockland Nationals in their opening game. This afternoon they were up against the North Bay North Stars. Picking up in the second period, North Stars up 1-0. They had to lead, crazy bounce in front. Okoyen Fair scores, and it's 2-0. Eagles cut into the lead later in the second. They're shorthanded, but watch this. It's a 2-on-1, and then it is John Szabo over to Hudson Landmark. That would make it a 2-1 game. Eagles get back on even terms a little later in the second. They're on the power play. Colton Daou with a seeing eye shot, 2-2 after 2. Now, about 4 minutes left in the game. The Eagles on the power play this time. Landmark to Szabo. Another rocket to beat Connor Dunham Fox. 3-2 Eagles. That's your final score. Canmore improves to 2-0 at the Centennial Cup. Eagles back in action on Sunday when they take on the hosts, the Summerside Western Capitals.
Thank you, Glenn. Let's get our final peek at our weekend forecast.
Looking pretty good. I would say Sunday is probably a little better for outdoor stuff because it will be warmer and we have no chance of rain on Sunday. So Saturday up until 11 or even in the noon hour, you could run into an isolated shower and then clearing out for the afternoon, a high of 19 tomorrow. 23 is our high for Sunday, and the rain shouldn't kick in till late Sunday night, and that will carry into early Monday morning and then clear out Monday afternoon. So that's our only rain in the 5-day forecast, and it's not much, to be honest. Okay, weather window brought to you by Lux Windows and Doors. Crafting quality windows and doors for your style, budget, and Alberta's climate. And Reinhold de Rosa sent this one in. He took this in Carburn Park. And how stunning is this? Little deer just enjoying putting his feet in the water.
On a hot day.
Cool.
Really likes to do that. That's
right?
a fantastic photo.
Who doesn't want to do that?
Thanks for your company tonight. Have a terrific weekend. For breaking news anytime, go to our website, ctvnewscalgary.ca.